Let's talk to Mal Fletcher, who's a social commentator and, I'm loving this, a futurist. Hi, Mal.
Hello, Stuart. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much. And I'm loving your title, a futurist. I think it's great. Love it. Well, you can look to the future and tell us where we're at, because it's quite a big drop this year, isn't it? What's going on?
Well, partly I think it reflects projections made before Christmas. If you look at 2018, just before Christmas, 62% of adults said they planned to engage with Boxing Day or Christmas sales. This year, the figure was down to 42%. That's a 20% drop. And I think the change is, it might be a little bit related to the election or Brexit uncertainty, but I think it's bigger than that. I think there's a social phenomenon going on. Shoppers are becoming more wary of the pressure retailers place on us to get us to binge-buy. As far back as 2013, newspapers were showing how online retailers jack up their prices just before the end of November and then, drop them either just before Christmas or just after. I think people are becoming more aware that I'm going to get a deal if I buy in January or February or March, sometimes just as likely online as I will get in a store in December.
It appears that the British public are saying no longer will we be manipulated by this, and in some senses what you're getting at is that the retailers have maybe underestimated the intelligence of the British public when it comes to finding a bargain.
I think that's true. I think they've relied, the retailers, for a long time now on nudge marketing, the idea of manipulating or using the power of human sociability to influence our choices. So, the suggestion that everybody's buying this, your friends are buying this, so you need to be targeted with this as well. And I do think people are more wary. I think people are also very wary of the impact of consumerism generally, Stuart, on anxiety levels. We've all heard a lot about the now infamous fear of missing out, but it's also related to what I call the tyranny of the amazing, where we used to buy a gadget 5 years ago because it was, wow, how do they do that? That's amazing. It's a new leap in technology. Now, there's more and more gadgets coming out with fewer and fewer real innovations in the tech. So manufacturers face this problem of keeping up those earlier levels of surprise. And I think shoppers are just getting very wary of things like the fear of missing out. They're disciplining themselves a little bit more.
We're hearing a lot about people trying to be more sustainable. Do you think there's any influence from that perspective at all? Do you think people are becoming a bit more aware of the buy it, use it, throw it away? If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. I can just chuck it because it only costs that much. Do you think people are being more aware of that, or do you think actually we're still, when it comes to getting something cheap, we would still fall for it?
Well, some of us would still buy things cheap through the power of impulse buying, I suppose, and the dopamine injection that gives us, the high that gives us. But I do think, yes, people on the whole are becoming more wary of sustainability. And another factor in that is when it comes to tech, which is 30 to 35% normally of sales on Boxing Day are technology-based. So it's a big chunk, and a lot of that requires power to drive it. So we've got to take the power from somewhere. I think people are just more aware of that. I also think, Stuart, there's a concern about debt anxiety, especially as we move more and more to a cashless society. Once upon a time we had to sign for our credit card, then we just had to use a PIN. Now we just wave a card. And this is encouraging people, I think, to spend without adequate forethought some of the time. And so the more we rely on cashlessness in the next 5 years, I think we will see rising levels of personal debt, because cash is messy, it's inconvenient, but it's got weight. You can feel it leaving your pocket. Cards don't change weight. Binary currencies, ones and zeros on a screen, they don't have any weight.
Shopping will become easier, and as you as a futurist will be able to certainly see that, and you've hinted at it there. What will be in the future the best way to get a bargain? Is it going to become about looking online completely and comparing prices and doing all those things, and apps helping us find the best price so we really don't have to do very much? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, partly. I think people do enjoy, though, the process of comparing and finding the deal rather than letting tech do it all. There's a buzz about, hey, I found this thing for 20% off, and it was a genuine 20%. I think a lot of it will be social buying in future, in the next few years. I think people, by that I mean, again, friends recommending something, and then sort of a conglomerate forms within that group to go and find the best deal on that item.
Wow. Yeah, I love it. All the family get together and go, right, washing machine, folks, get on it. I love that. Mal, thank you very much for talking to us this morning.